Hey everyone, welcome back to Nurse Love Addiction. First, just a quick announcement. I will not be able to post a video this weekend, so the next video will be out either Monday or Tuesday. Apologies, but you just have to wait a little longer than usual for the next video. And now, Kaede's route. Here we are. Last time, we learned about Kaede's ex-girlfriend. We learned that the letter of resignation came from her and she had wrote it and gave it to Kaede in sort of a very overly dramatic fashion. And now... Oh, and also, Asuka's been getting a little distracted with her relationship and all with Ohara. It's kind of taken her away from her studies, it seems. Maybe, possibly. Only one way to find out how this ends. Without further ado, I leave Miss Kaede's house and return to the dorm. There are still some people on the streets around the station, and some shops are still open. The girl who gave Miss Kaede the envelope which Miss Kaede is still keeping even now as a protective charm. She totally dumped me. When Miss Kaede was talking about her, it felt as if she was talking about someone really precious to her. I can't help but thinking this to myself. Could it be that Miss Kaede still loves her ex-girlfriend? It's a silly thought. I mean, that is pretty common. I would not be surprised, Asuka. In that case... I don't know your name. Miss Kaede didn't tell me, and I don't know what you look like. Though my intuition tells me that you must be beautiful. I'm speaking to this girl inside my mind. Always positive, this Asuka is. It's thanks to you that we've been able to become a couple. I silently express my sincere gratitude to her. I'm gonna be a nurse. As I get back to my dorm room, I open the picture book, The Girl Who Chased Stars. On the last page, in a scribble from when I was little, are written the words, "I'm gonna be a nurse." I don't remember writing those words. I wonder why my younger self wrote this. Why did I want to become a nurse? It was because of my curiosity for the answer to this question that I entered nursing school. Why did I feel that way? When I saw Miss Kaede on the first day of school, I was surprised to find that angels in white really existed. It gave me the desire to become like that too. For Miss Kaede's sake, that one is a little suspicious. Explain, Asuka. I wonder what my past self would say to me if I told her these are the new reasons why I want to become a nurse. Would she be angry? Would she tell me it's okay for me to feel like that? I wonder why my past self felt like becoming a nurse. Oh, that might be a little too much for this route. Now just spoke to me as if she had been reading my mind. Yeah, that's cool, Asuka. People change over time. You'll probably have like a different reason 5-10 years down the line too.
ドンピシャ。それで昔の自分とちょっと話してたって感じ？うちの妹が超能力者だ。
Okay, be cool now. Don't give anything away. Okay.
お姉ちゃん専用だけどね。いいんじゃないかな。
You aren't wrong, Asuka. Now repeats herself.
かな。でもそしたら、昔の私の思いってどこに行っちゃうんだろう。
Well, that is a very good question for a whole nother route.
昔の思い。
My pledge for the future, which I sealed on the last page of this picture book.
そうだね。きっと誰にでもあるんだろうね。
Now has got the most insightful things to say on this route. It's wonderful. Now mumbles. Her tone makes me feel as if she's not only talking to me, but to herself as well.
思い出の中に閉じ込めたまま、そのままになっちゃってる思いとか。
Because now, totally wouldn't know what that feels like. Oh, now, I really do have sympathy for now after doing her route, you know?
なおちゃん？叶わない願いとか。
Both her gaze and her voice seem almost transparent.
なおちゃんは私の大事な妹だよ。何お姉ちゃん。
Now his eyes are wide in surprise as I suddenly make this proud declaration to her.
いや、なんか言っておきたくなっちゃって。そっか。じゃあ、なおだって。なおはずっとお姉ちゃんの特効薬でスイートシスターだよ。
It seems kind of as if we've turned into the stupid version of the Osachi sisters. Oh, stupid or silly or not serious, all same difference. You guys are adorable. It's December now, and winter has begun. I'm studying at Miss Kaede's house. Oh, studying. That's what you're calling it these days.
アスカは最近勉強の調子がいいよね。病院実習での評判もいいし。
Wow, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Asuka hasn't been so distracted from school, because now she has like newfound motivation. All right, good for you, Asuka. Good for you.
頑張ってるもん。
I look up from my notes with a boastful expression. I've heard that falling in love generally lowers your grades, but well, in fact, that also almost happened. Well, in fact, that also almost happened to me. But my desire to become a nurse is very real too.
なんかこう手を抜くと昔の私に怒られそうな。
I feel almost as if I'm being watched by her from inside the picture book.
恋の力で学習力アップ。頼もしいわね。
Well, it's not like that's the only reason why I'm doing my best.
いやー、ライバルが厄介と言いますか。
Oh, I see. It's kind of competing with the ex-girlfriend a little bit. Oh, okay, that's fair. It is kind of like the funny thing about being in a relationship with someone who's had past relationships, who has had exes, is that you really do kind of feel like you got to come up against them at some point. Maybe not to be better than them, but you got to confront them at some point. Usually when they're especially when they're super important to the person as well. Ever since she told me about her last time, I've been asking about her as discreetly as I can. Frankly, it sounds like she was almost perfect. Good looks, smart, and a great nurse. At this moment, it's not like there's any real meaning in competing against her.
やっぱり気になります。
It's surprising to find these kinds of feelings inside of myself, the strong desire not to be inferior.
アスカ？あ、なんでもないです。なんでも。そう？はい。先生は？私？その恋の力で。
Since she used to think she wanted to quit her job and that she wasn't suited to be a nurse. I wonder if our love has had some positive influence on that. I'd be happy if it did.
そうね。
Miss Kaede seems to be thinking about it.
他の子たちもそうだけど、アスカが立派な看護師になるのはきちんと見届けたいって気持ちが大きくなっているわ。
That's good. I was starting to question Kaide's motives in the beginning. And don't worry, those suspicions are still there. But I think the complicated thing that comes with a teacher dating a student is, yes, the risk of the student not focusing in school. And you would like to think that when you're in a relationship with someone else, you want the best for each other, so you wouldn't want so I would imagine Kaede wouldn't want Asuka to fail. So this is very nice to hear.
とは思わなくなったわね。それに
Miss Kaede smiles at me bashfully.
アスカとお付き合いをしだしてから彼女のことを思い出して泣くことがなくなったの。恋の効果ね。
I can barely restrain myself from shouting out in glee.
あ、じゃあ
I feel like asking her why she still needs that envelope. Oh boy. This seems important. I don't think we should ask. I feel like it's really inappropriate to ask her, hey, well then why are you carrying around the resignation letter? The words are almost rolling out of my mouth before I realize. But though they're right on my lips, I swallow them back
ダメ
inside.
だね。先生にとって大事な思い出ってのは事実なんだから。
Exactly. Miss Kaede is so precious to me, and since it's a precious memory of hers, I have to respect that as well.
複雑だけどさ。
Since I stopped talking all of a sudden, Miss Kaede looks at me with a puzzled expression.
じゃあクリスマスどうしましょうか。
That's right, isn't Christmas like a super romantic holiday in Japan? It's super interesting how holidays get translated over different cultures. I can't imagine Christmas being that romantic in the United States. I say this as I point to the calendar on the wall. What an awkward change of subject. Miss Kaede looks at the calendar too. It'll be the first Christmas we'll spend together as a couple.
そうね。
Miss Kaede isn't getting suspicious at my strange behavior and appears to be thinking about Christmas.
学校は冬休みに入っているけれど、遠出は多分無理ね。課題とか大変そう。あ、でも確か駅前がイルミネーションで飾り付けられるはずよ。十分素敵な。へえ。あとはさあね。
And just as Miss Kaede is saying this, the sound of my stomach.
いやー、小腹が空いちゃったみたい。夕ご飯は寮で食べるのでしょ？はい、なおちゃんとの約束で。
Are you kicking us out? Nao has forgiven me for spending so much time at Miss Kaide's home, but in exchange for that, she gave me the condition that I need to have dinner with her at the dorm. She said, that's because for the time being, you're still my older sister. I Wonder what she meant by "for the time being." Let's not ask questions about that, Asuka. I wonder for how much longer? Until Miss Kaede and I get married? Okay, slow down, Asuka. First of all, you would still be her older sister even if you got married, but that is... Oh, I'm blushing.
どちらかというと糖分かしらね。クッキーでも出しましょうか。あ、やったー。少し待っていて。
Miss Kaede stands up and leaves the room.
この部屋で過ごすのも普通になってきたな。
As I mutter this to myself, I notice something. There's an envelope on the ground, which Miss Kaede must have dropped as she stood up. Letter of resignation. It's the envelope that was given to her by her ex-girlfriend.
先生、お守り代わりって言いながら結構落としてるよね。
This is already the third time I've found myself picking it up.
よいしょっと。
I reach out and pick up the envelope. I never noticed it before, but the envelope isn't sealed. It's merely folded shut. Well, since it wasn't actually mailed, I guess that's not so odd.
先生が大好きだった人が。
The envelope, which is still so precious to her even now.
ひどい振られ方をしたのに、それでも。見ちゃダメかな、中身。先生の大事なものだし、ダメだよね。
Oh no, are we... Is this gonna be an option?
ダメダメ、ダメだよ。それはマナー違反。
Thank
いくら
you.
今、私たちが付き合っているからって、そこはね、しっかりしなきゃ。
I don't know if I would have been able to make that choice because don't put me in that position, Asuka. Yes, that's bad manners. Just give it back to her.
大丈夫。見ない見ない。私もね、意外とそういうとこ真面目だ
Why
ったり
does it
す
sound
る
like you're
し
trying to talk yourself out of it, though? Though I'm saying that, my fingers have already picked the letter out of the envelope. Oh, Asuka! I had such faith in you. Oh,
本当
don't.
に弱すぎ。
Clearly!
あれ
This is kind of strange. The document I've taken out of the envelope is folded in 3. I unfold it. This is not a formal document and not a letter of resignation.
これって
Instead of a letter of resignation, it appears to be a letter addressed to Miss Kaede.
どういうこと
Asuka? I open the letter, unable to resist the temptation to read it. To my beloved Kaede. Yeah, Asuka, put it back! Put it back! We should not be reading this. You will regret it. I'm telling you. I'm not sure when you'll be reading this letter. My hands are petrified, and I can't pull my eyes away from the letter. You might be reading this at a point in time when you've become an excellent nurse. At a time when you don't need a letter of resignation anymore, and you check the contents of the envelope, just in case, before throwing it away. But if you're reading this at a time when you truly want to quit being a nurse... I've read up to this point when I hear footsteps come from the hallway. Miss Kaede is on her way back. God. I forcefully thrust the letter along the envelope into my pocket. I can hear the paper crumpling. My heart is beating heavily in my chest. I can almost feel my own body temperature dropping a few degrees. The door slides open, and Miss Kaede enters the room.
お待たせ。
Miss Kaede looks at my face.
どうしたの？そんなにお腹空いてたの？かわいい。
She chuckles as she says this. Did we give it back to Kaede? Why do I feel like it's still in Asuka's pocket? Asuka, don't do this. It's always bad news when you read something you shouldn't read. I'm walking back to the dorm, passing the station.
持ってきちゃった。
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, look at you in your winter coat. I don't think we've seen her in the coat before. I picked the envelope and letter out of my pocket. I had thrust it inside pretty forcefully, so it's a little crumpled. I wonder if she'll be angry about it. I halt under one of the streetlights in front of the station. I can't help looking around to check if the coast is clear. I guess it's due to my guilty conscience. I screw up my courage and open the letter. It's written in beautiful handwriting. To my beloved Kaede. You might be reading this at a point in time when you've become an excellent nurse, at a time when you don't need a letter of resignation anymore, and you check the contents of the envelope just in case before throwing it away. But if you're reading this at a time when you truly want to quit being a nurse, please calm down first and read this letter to the end. I read this far at Miss Kaide's house. My eyes moved to the next line. I love you, Kaede, even now. I feel as if my heart has just been ripped out. But even though I really wanted to be of support to you, if I stayed with you, I would have instead just been making you more reliant on me, and I'd end up making you weaker. And because I'm the way I am, and I love you so much, I just can't help spoiling you. I realized that was wrong. I won't be able to bring out the beautiful light which resides within you. I'm sure you'll become a wonderful nurse. I don't want to stand in the way of that. That's why I need to say such harsh things to you. In order to make you hate me. And then once you've grown to hate me, you'll be able to walk the path of nursing under your own power. That's the reason why. Once you've grown to hate me and have forgotten about me, then I know you'll become a wonderful nurse. That is my wish. But you know, if you're reading this letter and you've truly lost all hope of making it as a nurse, and if you're still thinking about me, then please come back and lean on me. Then please come back to me, because I've always, always loved you so much. KM. I've read through the whole letter. The KM written at the end of the letter, those must be the initials of Miss Kaide's ex-girlfriend. At the very bottom of the letter, she had carefully written her contact information. It must be the number of her cell phone. This number still leads to her. To her.
どうしよう。
I feel as if I'm holding a bomb in my hands which could explode at any moment.
これ先生が読んだら何かがきっかけで封筒の中のこの手紙を読んだりしたら
That's why it's best not to look at it, Asuka, because this is something that you're never gonna forget.
そんなの
I'm reminded of the conversation we had while we were eating cookies.
もし彼女が先生を嫌ったんじゃなかったらどうなってたのかな
Wow, that's a heavy this is a heavy conversation to be having over eating cookies.
そんなの答えられないわ
She had said so with a troubled expression on her face, but I know the answer. Even though it's already been many years since she was dumped in that harsh way, she's still been crying her heart out over her. And this letter of resignation which her ex-girlfriend slapped into her hands, she's been preciously holding on to it like a charm. And even now, it's still special to her. I know the answer.
答えなんて聞かなくても
Seriously, what can I do? Though I'm saying this,
緊急会議するしかない
I also can't possibly just sit back and give up.
緊急会議するしかないよ
I declare this to Now at our dorm room.
緊急 会議？明日ね、いつきさんやまちちゃん、みちちゃんも集めて。
We gonna leave Sakia out of the emergency assembly? Please not.
先生と何かあったの？
There's gonna be a serious lack of Sakia on this route, isn't there? Now is as amazingly sharp as ever, but
詳しくは明日、こうご期待。
alright, don't grin while you say that. Makes you seem like you're being a bit of a masochist, I guess. Every time I'll need to explain this, it's probably going to cause considerable pain in my heart. So please allow me to do it tomorrow, to everyone, all at once.
というわけです。
Wow, we get to see everyone in their winter coats, except for Sakia, because you decided to exclude her. Why would you exclude her, Asuka? Don't exclude her from these things. The following day, during lunch break, I've called Nao, Misitsuki, Machi, and Michi, all the people who know about me and Miss Kaede, to the roof and explained to them the situation. Miss Saki is at home and taking a break from school. She's apparently having a tough time.
はあ、なるほど。で、それを私らに話して何しようっての？
But I do like this little, group meeting. I was really gonna be sad if, considering Kaede's route continues to prove to be pretty divergent from the other three routes, I was gonna be sad if we didn't see any familiar faces. This is better than nothing.
悩める乙女心の相談です。
Oh, aren't we all, Asuka? Aren't we all? A slight grin is playing on Misitsuki's lips.
何さ？まあまあ、お姉ちゃん。
Now is taking up the role of mediator.
要は昔の彼女のところに先生が戻らないようにするにはどうしたらいいかってことだよね。んなのその手紙さえ見なきゃいいんだろ。捨てるなり燃やすなりしちまえ。ダメだよそんなの。今私が持ってるのも悪いのに。
Although, like she says, it would be nice if I could just get rid of it, but...
それをしたら人として終わりな気がする。
Yeah, Asuka, you're too good of a person to do something like that. Though Itsuki's not wrong, it certainly would solve the problem.
こっそり持ち出しといて何を今さら。
Wow. 1-2 punch! Turns out hurts a little more than when Sakia punches us in the gut.
いや、それはその。まあお姉ちゃん、基本的に自分に甘いもんね。なおちゃん厳しい。だってお姉ちゃんにラブラブななおにこんな相談持ってくるんだもん。嫌味の一つも言いたくなるよ。すみません。でも黙ってられたらもっと嫌だったけど、だからいいの。なおちゃん。
My eyes are becoming moist. I'm so much in her debt.
麗しの姉妹愛ごちそうさま。そんなことより本題に入ろうぜ。昼休みそんな時間ないしさ。
Yo, Machi Michi, what are your opinions, girls? Come on, tell us the good stuff. Misitsuki is looking right at me.
何？まずその元カノ KM とかって女、スペックじゃ抜け子の先輩なんでしょ。その模様です。
According to what Miss Kaede has said,
じゃあ何なら勝ってんだ。元カノに負けないアピールポイント。愛情とか？でもそんなの測りようないよね。
Really? Kissing. I was about to say we have great compatibility when it comes to our lips and our bodies, but I hold my tongue. This is not the right place to say something like that. My kisses with Miss Kaede. This utter sweetness and mesmerizing sensation it gives me. If Miss Kaede feels the same way...
とにかくだ。スペックでは負けてるなら、スペック以外で元カノに負けてないって思う勝負ポイント探して、それでアピールするっきゃねえだろ。
My body.
この体を武器に。
Oh, Asuka, I'm sure there are other things you have that are more appreciated by Kaede than your body. I'm not denying your body's not one of them, but you know, there might be more. A little bit erotic.
先生の思考を探ってみるのもいいかもしれないね。
Right? I mean, Kaede is quite possibly a completely different person right now, and she might not even be compatible with KM. And how do we know this KM doesn't, like, already have another girlfriend at this point? She could have changed, too, over time. We could just be blowing this out of proportion. I mean, it's nurse love addiction. Nothing is ever as small as it could be, but you never know.
先生を逆らえなくする弱み探してもいいけど、お姉ちゃんはそんなのしたくないでしょ?
Yeah, thanks now. We know that's your preference.
だから先生が好きなものの傾向とか。お、ゲームっぽくなってきた。好感度稼ぎには情報必須。
Mizutsuki seems to be enjoying herself, and I'm kind of disturbed about what Now just said. It's alright, Asuka, you're safe from that on this route.
情報必須か。
She may actually be right.
体を武器にって言っても、どう使うかいろいろあるし。
Many different methods. I can't help imagining some things. My cheeks are glowing bright red.
お姉ちゃんどうしたの?
It's better if you don't know now.
なんでもないであります。さ
あ。Okay, next time we will see what Asuka comes up with plan-wise to stop Kaede from possibly going back to her ex-girlfriend and staying with her. See you then. Until then, take care.